Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm currently at Kecara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. This is the book that I'll be reading from, Tales My Lama Told Me. This is by Pastor David Lai with stories from Rinpoche, our Guru, His Eminence, the 25th Sam Tuku Rinpoche. So today I'll be reading continue from on the chapter 17, At the Feet of My Lama, page 193. Let me go to the picture to share with you. Right, this is Rinpoche, a photo of Rinpoche taken with His Holiness the Dalai Lama and his guru, Khenso Rinpoche Jampa Yeshe. This was during Rinpoche's recognition as a true guru. Right, page 193. On another occasion, Khenso Rinpoche Jampa Yeshe, the abbot emeritus of Ganden Shatze Monastery, and another of my esteemed gurus, and I had to get to a city called Pathankot in India and spend the night there. At Pathankot, we had to take another taxi or bus for another 3 to 4 hours to get to Dharamsala. We used to go up and down this way many times to receive teachings from His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and there were a lot of things happening up there, but I always dreaded the trip. I was very lucky to be able to go for teachings in Dharamsala as an attendant to Khenso Rinpoche. I remember the year when His Holiness the Dalai Lama won the Nobel Peace Prize. It was a huge celebration throughout India for both Indians and Tibetans alike. Indians are very kind and they consider the Dalai Lama as one of their own people, so it was a big celebration all over. We traveled all the way from Ganden Monastery. Representatives from the three great monasteries, the abbots of Ganden Shatse, Ganden Jangse, Sarah May, Sarah J, Drepung Losaling, and Drepung Gomang monasteries, all convened and traveled up to Dharamsala. I had the great honor of accompanying Kapje Lati Rinpoche and Khenso Rinpoche Jampa Yeshe, who was abbot of Ganden Shatse at the time, as his attendant. I was already his personal secretary and attendant for many years. To get there, the monastery hired a taxi for us to go to the train station. We took a train for 3 days and 2 nights up north to New Delhi, and that journey was a really big production. We were not traveling first class, we were in third class. I don't think many of you would take it. I wouldn't blame you as you are not used to things like that. I wasn't too, but I had no choice. I figured if the abbot could take it, then so could I. When we got to New Delhi, we took another overnight train up to Dharamsala. You would be half dead by the time you arrived there, but if you had to attend teachings immediately, you would die. I mean, you are dying to see His Holiness, but you are also dying to have audience with your bed. I didn't have that leisure because I had to take care of Khenso Rinpoche. When we arrived, I prepared his bed and his personal things. I took his robes out and made sure the ceremonial attire and hat were ready. I would make sure his letters were on hand and offering katas were ready. I also had to prepare his food according to his diet, clean his living area, and go to the government office to inform them that my lamas were there, register for them, and do all the formalities. I wasn't recognized as a Rinpoche then, so I could do all this. When I came back, I would take care of Rinpoche and assist him in whatever way I could. Only when Rinpoche was all tucked into bed and asleep would I attend to my own affairs. Usually by then, I would be so tired I would just collapse into bed. So there we were to celebrate the Dalai Lama's Nobel Peace Prize. It was just fantastic because when we went to Delhi, a sea of Tibetans from all over India and Nepal had lined up at the airport awaiting his arrival. The minute His Holiness came out of the airplane, Everybody just clapped. It was so emotional. The people cheered and wished him, "Welcome back, Your Holiness, Nobel Laureate." It was really very beautiful because of the pure joy and festivities. The abbots and monks were all there to greet His Holiness. We were wearing our hats. There was incense billowing, and the long horns were blown to welcome him back. His Holiness drove by, and we bowed in respect. Then it was all over. That was it. We had gone all the way up there, taking 3 days and 2 nights to do so, just to bow to His Holiness for literally 10 seconds. But that was good enough. It was good enough for us to have the opportunity. When you are in the presence of an enlightened being, they perceive it all, and that is all it takes. You don't have to have a conversation, take him out for dinner, or do a lot. All that was necessary is the intention, and that he sees you. After His Holiness passed us by, all of us went back to our hotels. The high lamas with their big sponsors returned to their plush hotels. I won't tell you what I went back to, but I wouldn't complain because Khenso Rinpoche had to be there too. In any case, we had to rush back, stick to our schedules, and take the bus back. We took the bus up to Dharamsala while I carried the bags and took care of everything. I was a little aggressive then because all these chickens, people, and goats were cramming into Rinpoche. I was not trying to behave as if we were better than the villagers, but there were 3 of us. We did buy tickets, and it was very crowded. Khenso Rinpoche was over 70 years old then, and I knew he wouldn't be able to take the conditions of the journey, so I had to be really violent. I had to sit there and just say no. The villagers would shout at the conductor to do something, but the conductor would just ask us to move over. I told him, "You move over." There would be a screaming match in Hindi, and Rinpoche would ask what was going on. I told him, "Oh, that lady lost her chicken or something. I don't know." I told him a white lie because if I told Rinpoche the truth, he would tell me to move over and let her sit down, and I really couldn't bear to see Rinpoche sick or uncomfortable. As an attendant of a Rinpoche, I have to absorb the problems, difficulties, enemies, hatred, and negative talk. However, I would never fight back because I represented Rinpoche. If I did fight back, if I said I was mistreated, that I was not given my due, or that I was not respected, then I would be a very bad attendant of Rinpoche. As an attendant, we must reflect what our Guru teaches. So, when I was the attendant of Rinpoche, I would take all that in. I would even lie to Rinpoche, little white lies, so as not to tell him what was really going on. I didn't want him to suffer because he is very compassionate. You might wonder why I didn't just let him know the problem and follow what he told me to do. It's because if he became very sick, thousands of students in the monastery would suffer as opposed to just one villager suffering. I'm sorry, sometimes compassion is not letting people step on you. Compassion is saying no firmly with a good intention. My intention was to protect my Guru, and that was what I did. To protect and serve him, I carried his bags and made sure he had his food. I would filter his tea and make sure his water was always clean. I would do everything I could to serve him all the way, and it was my pleasure. I think all the good things I have now comes as a result of my devotion to my gurus. It is said in the scriptures that good things come from serving your guru well. There is always a special commitment for students not to show bias towards one guru over another. If another guru is very famous, has a big name, and is extremely well known, We think we should listen to him and that whatever he says is correct. But if our guru is not so famous or does not have any status, we feel that we don't need to listen to what he says. We use our gurus to override one another. Unfortunately, there are some people that do run around doing and thinking like that. They would say, one of my gurus said this, and my other guru said that. They would have a few gurus. One guru said this before, and another guru said that after the first. They would decide which guru would take precedence based on the fame, background, and rank of one over another. Now, that is very wrong. In your meditations, all your gurus should be of equal level. I say this with the deepest respect to someone like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, because His Holiness Zong Rinpoche, Khenso Rinpoche, and Geshe Sotim Gyaltsen are, to me, in my mind, three equal Buddhas. Therefore, one guru cannot be higher than another. And that's the end of the chapter. As Rinpoche shared, we should be very happy in serving our guru because they are they are our gurus who are attained and we receive the Dharma and they are in their compassion. So in serving them, we actually gain a lot of merits. And as Rinpoche always displayed, he has very, very strong guru devotion. And actually, in having strong guru devotion, that is how you are able to progress spiritually. Because the devotion actually shows how much you trust and believe in your guru as being someone who gives you the Dharma, the preciousness of his status in giving you the Dharma. And as such, it shows that you also treasure the Dharma that you receive. So actually, to me, it's, like a telltale sign of the level that you are at by the way that you serve your guru and how devoted you are to them. And it really, to me, shows, how much you treasure the Dharma itself and you are practicing the Dharma. So anyway, thank you for joining me. And do join me again as I start another chapter in my next sharing. So today we'll end this with a completion dedication in Tibetan. Jangju Sencho Rinpoche, Make Panam Geishi, Ke Panam Pame Payang, Gone Gondo Pewashu, Tony To Rinpoche, Make Panam Geishi, Ke Panam Pame Paya, Gone Gondo Pewashu, Dasojini Sapage Wadi, Tandandroa Guna Kampada, Jepa Jesu no Santrapai, Tamping in Porindusa, Sesho, Kewa Kuntu Yandala Madan, Dromichoki Pala Lonchoche, Sadam Nangi Yaterazone, Doji Changi Opangatusu, Kewa Din Yududa, Lama Sangyudrione, Drewachikia Malupa, De Salago Pasho, Choki Kelpos. Sungapa, Chosunampa Pewala, Geki Samasi Wadang, Tunki Malo Sangwasho, Dadam Sengi Dusundang, Driwe Songi Latine, Gewa Losan Trapai, Tampayu Riva, Gyushi, Ni Modele Sindele, Ni Migunyan Shi, Ni Sentatu Dele Pel, Concho Songi Jingilo, Concho Songi Ngotroso, Concho Songi Trasi Sho. Jesu Lama Kusen Rapting Ching, Nam Katrini Chochu Kepada, Losam Tempe Drome Sapsongi, Droe Musa Tatuni Gyushi, Gangri Rawe Koe Shinkam Dem, Pendandewa Malu Gyoin, Cherenze One Tensing Get So Yi, Shapeshi de Badu Teng Gyushi. Home Tompe Ngotro Malupa, Dende Dala Sel Duso, Kodan Dempa Long Shopna, Kepa Sushik Shukten Sel. See you for my next sharing. Do join me with interesting stories from Rinpoche.